Hey guys, this is the Bro Show
Part
Part 2. Okay guys, we're back. And I noticed on my phone here that on our last video that I posted to the channel that there were some likes. Sorry guys, I'm looking at my phone right now because sometimes I forget a few things, so I'm looking at my own channel on my phone as I'm recording the video. So it has 5 likes, 86 views. Okay, sweet. Okay. Well, anyhow, this is our thoughts on AEW. So let's get right down straight to the point with it. AEW All Elite Wrestling, if you guys are not wrestling fans, is or was in Pittsburgh. It's a wrestling company that came to Pittsburgh on April 19th in Pittsburgh. I just said Pittsburgh. That Wednesday, the 19th, and they had Dynamite, which is their weekly Wednesday shows, and usually Friday nights for Rampage. Sometimes Saturdays if they have a special. But so what happens is whenever they come to your city, they have 2 shows. They have both shows the same night. They pre-record Rampage and post it for. They air it, I should say, air it on TV on Friday. But you get to see it that night at the event if you go to the events. Anyhow, so Dynamite, I actually enjoyed it. You know, for the most part, it was pretty good. I liked. Was it Dynamite or was it Rampage that Sammy and
It's not Dynamite.
Sammy G, Jungle Boy or Jack Perry, and Darby Allin were all three were in the ring on each side of the turnbuckles or whatever at first, and they were talking about the upcoming pay-per-view on May 28th, called Double or Nothing. This is not sponsored, by the way. I'm just telling you guys about the pay-per-view on the 28th. If you're interested, you can order on cable or Bleacher Report. As for me, I get irritated with Bleacher Report. You can only keep the pay-per-view for like 2 days. That's it. They used to do it on Fight TV, but you can on there you can keep it as long as you want. But you can get it on cable. You can keep it as long as you want on cable. It's like either way, it's like $50. But yeah, with that, Sammy G and freaking Darby and Jack Perry segment there.
I think that was at the beginning.
Yeah.
Their match was at the end.
Okay, yeah, at the beginning when they talked. I liked it. I don't want to, like, say who I think is going to win the pay-per-view because I don't know if I'm going to be right or not. I don't like MJF much. That's just me, in my opinion. But I think he might retain somehow. He's going to do something to win again, like he always does. Even though I would like to see Jack Perry or Darby win it, and Sammy too, because he worked hard to get to that point. But I think MJF is still going to somehow get the win, get the W to retain the title, unfortunately. But the matches that night were pretty good. I liked it. What were some of the matches? I can't look on my phone. Darn it! Gosh, man. I'm sorry, guys. Give me a minute. I gotta look on my phone.
At the end of the video, I felt completely deflated on what Sammy made his decision. I didn't even focus on Rampage that night because it was just, I felt that deflated. There's just no words to describe what I felt at the end.
Well, I can't even finish my sentence.
At the end of the last video that was posted about the AEW show.
Well, this is from the actual website AEW Dynamite results for April 19th, 2023. So, let's look here. Oh, the Women's World Champion Jimmy Hayter and Britt Baker versus the Outcast. So with that match, I liked it though. My idea is what I'm thinking about the pay-per-view on the 28th at Double or Nothing, DON for short. I think Britt is going to turn on her friend because Britt, I feel like, wants to be the Women's World Champion again, even though on their weekly new show after Dynamite, AEW All Access on Tubi, yes,
which is not sponsored.
And so on there, I know Britt talked about how she doesn't want to be world champion for another 5 years or something. I mean, I get her point too. I mean, I'm not a pro wrestler, but I can understand to the point where if it's the stress and everything to carry the title and everybody's coming at you, everybody's trying to get your title and you're trying to go there, defend, which is there's no problem defending your championship, but it's a stress. You have to carry the company on your back and this and that. I mean, if you watch AEW All Access, you hear her reasons why she doesn't want to be Women's World Champion for a little bit. But something still tells me that that Britt is going to turn on her friend at some point. Whether it's for the title, whether it's for for her to get up in the ratings or something. Something might happen. I don't know. I'm just guessing. The next one is that the Elite went into the ring to talk about the BCC. Here's the thing to me, in my opinion. I like the BCC and I like the Elite. I like for those two groups to have a trios match. I think they already did a couple of times, but I mean, I would like the BCC to be in a match with the Elite at a big pay-per-view for the World Trios Championship. That would be pretty good. Have it no holds barred or something crazy, something to to back up the ratings, and have it be the top main event of that night. To be the main event of that night. Yeah, to have it the main event, that'd be pretty cool, I think. This next match, on this phone results I'm looking here, the TNT Championship match with Powerhouse Hobbs and Wardlow. And I'm so glad that Wardlow won, because first off, he was training in the indie circuit. Pittsburgh is his wrestling home. Not was, is. So it was bittersweet for him that he had Arn Anderson by his side, and QT Marshall. He literally tried. He tried to have Hobbs retain. I saw that, but Wardlow, he got the W, he got the win. He got the title for the second time, and I'm so glad he did. FTR talking in the ring. I'm so glad they are the AEW World Tag Team Champions for the second time, because I think they're pretty dominant. I mean they had 3 world tag titles. Excuse me. They had 3 world tag titles from 3 different companies at once. So you can't you can't deny the talent they have and how dominant they are. I can't remember any other time in the modern era today that had 3 different tag team titles and one tag team that had, 3 different ones from 3 companies at the same time. So that's, unless you guys know from any other teams that did the same thing, you can put it in the comments and let me know if I'm wrong. Here we go. Chris Jericho versus, they were not doing any matches, but Chris Jericho and Adam Cole, they met face to face about what happened before. Oh my gosh. I liked how Adam kind of looked up to him. It's one of the reasons why he got into the business, I think, and told Chris that he respected him and all that. I get it. Chris is a heel. He has to have his character play out on TV. I get it. But telling Cole that he doesn't respect him, yada yada. But in my opinion, I think backstage, I think Chris would actually tell him backstage, differently than in the ring. Oh my goodness gracious, man.
What is it?
It was that tag match with Acclaimed versus JAS. I didn't care for that match because I don't like both groups. I do like Chris Jericho though, and Jake Hager. I think Jake Hager needs to go to singles matches and pursue the world title or any title, because he has potential. I know Jake Hager has potential. He could go by himself. He'd be smart to do that. I just don't like some of the guys in JAS, and just that match in particular I didn't like for a couple of reasons. But I'm going to quote something from Jake Hager. I'm not trying to say anything that's copyrighted, but just like Jake Hager, I like this hat! The 4 Pillars tournament match was Sammy G and Jack Perry. If you guys watched AEW that night, or if this is the first time you're hearing about All Elite Wrestling, well, I advise you to check it out on demand or somewhere, or on the TNT app or website, or something like that, TBS, or somewhere you can watch the episode. Unfortunately, MJF had to freaking help Sammy win the match. But what can you say? I mean, I'm not surprised. But what did you think about Dynamite?
What I thought about Dynamite? Well, what were the matches again? Okay, the first one, which obviously kicked off as the part of the 4 Pillars, and what I thought about it was a very interesting segment. Just to heat things up, they would do what they have to do. And particularly, for Lee, I'm not really I don't like MJF.
I'm sorry, guys. I gotta say something. I'm sorry, guys. I'm not trying to be disrespectful, being on my phone the whole time he's talking, or in the video to you guys, because I'm just trying to refer to the matches from AEW. That's all I'm trying to do.
Oh.
Go ahead, keep talking.
Well, Elite in the BCC, honestly, I'll just like what Lee said, I definitely love the BCC. The Elite too, I used to like the Elite, but not as much anymore.
Alright, you going back to Dynamite soon, or...
Sorry about that.
I want to have
anyway,
an hour video.
What are you looking at me like that for?
No, looking at the lights.
You're just...
Nice. Okay, go ahead. Sorry to interrupt.
And I really think the BCC will just continue to dominate. I mean, that's my personal what I think. And the Elite, they just gotta keep working a lot more harder. Next one, Lee, is... Oh yeah, I skipped the tag match. Britt Baker and Jamie Hayter. That match was definitely quite an interesting match. I liked it. I think it's gonna be quite the opposite. I really think that Britt's gonna help her friend. Granted, she has no interest in becoming AEW, as you've seen on All Access. I really think she's just gonna help her friend and continue on and having her as champion or whatever. And I mean, at least that's how I see it. At Double or Nothing, you know, that's my opinion. And that one's a really good match. Definitely loved Wardlow in action against Powerhouse Hobbs. And I think the last one is the Four Pillars tournament.
Yeah, the Sammy G and Jack Perry match.
Yep, and everything was going good until it was the end of that match. Going under NJF's belt and all that, and I felt disappointed after that video we posted. I felt like I lost a lot of respect for Sammy at that night. You know, I can't, for someone that works his ass off to get to where he's at. I felt disappointment.
So Rampage, with Moxley and then Daniels match, it's been pretty good, and of course Moxley won because to represent his BCC group and keep dominating. To try to have Moxley be undefeated, so to speak, and just fighting strong.
And they even showed respect for each other after the match, because that's how you can tell
that.
they showed mutual respect for one another.
Next one is Matt and Jeff. Hardy Boys came out and they talked, and that was pretty cool. I love that. Because me and Joel met the Hardys at IWC.
So I'm glad I got to meet those guys as well.
Let's see. Oh yeah, FTR then versus Josh Woods, Slim J, Tony Nese, and Eerie something. Yeah, I'm glad how FTR and won the match, but Jeff has some kind of issue with who is it? Is it
Jeff Jarrett?
Yeah, he has an issue with FTR or something. Cause they don't get along. They don't get along. So
it's not just him. Jay Lethal also.
Yeah, him too. Yeah, him too. Yeah. The AAA Mega Title match. Well, yeah, that was the main event. I didn't really care too much for that match. I'm sure it was a really good one that night. It was a good match, but me, Joel, and Jeff wanted to leave a little bit early because the traffic, and I had to help Jeff, designate our way out of Pittsburgh to our area. And well, that's pretty much it, because Rampage is just an hour show. Okay, guys, that is our opinions and thoughts on AEW that night, Wednesday night of the 19th last month, in Pittsburgh. Click the sub button to the Bro Show Part 2.